this weekend tournament, and they emerge as the two teams standing. The winner of this game will be determined based on points. The champion of this Miami Valley Freeze holiday tournament. Of course, yesterday the Norsemen handed the Beavers a 10-0, or check that, 10-1 drubbing yesterday afternoon. So the Beavers are out to avenge that loss and win a tournament for the second consecutive weekend, as last weekend they won the Mayor's Cup down at South Metro. From the face-off, the Norsemen in their white sweaters with red trunks, the Beavers in all black uniforms. And it looks like Joe Bordas is in goal for the Beavers in the crease to our left. And the other way is Jackson Maddie in goal for Northern Kentucky. He was in goal yesterday for that Northern Kentucky win. The Norsemen are coached by Jamie Antello. The Beavers by Greg Gutterman. We're just underway. There's a long shot right on and a glove save caught by Joe Bordas. Max Williams against Riley Hansen. Williams wins the face-off. Now centering pass off a stick and down the ice. After it is McMullen of Northern Kentucky. McMullen to cross. And me and engineer Jeff Duford saying that we're happy that they're wearing their white sweaters. There's a shot and they score! Nathan Sunderhouse. He's one of the big scorers for this Northern Kentucky squad. And he puts them on the board right away, just 58 seconds into the game, and the Norsemen lead it 1-0. That's exactly what the Beavers did not want to do, is fall behind early, especially after things cascaded downward the way they did in the second period yesterday. Mentioning, glad that the Norsemen are in their white sweaters. Now we can see their numbers on their uniforms. Those visiting uniforms, they're hard to see them. And here's Elliott the other way. He's got Guzman in front. Gets the puck back. Max Williams, the assist on that goal by Sunderhouse. Trying to tip the puck ahead was Huff, and we've got a penalty. It's going to be, I believe, interference. And it is interference, as Huff was knocked down. He did not have the puck. He was in pursuit of the puck. And it's going to be Trevor Kathman that goes to the penalty box for Northern Kentucky. Owen Huff was in pursuit of the puck, and he was knocked down by Kathman, and that's interference. So the Beavers on a power play. They need to tie this game and establish that they can play with this big Northern Kentucky outfit. There's Thomas Bush trying to get a tip on a centering pass, but it's cleared away. Of course, the Beavers played to a closely knit game 3-2 the first time these two teams played. And as Cole Gutterman carries the puck in, one of his teammates was in over the blue line offside and will take the face off on the far dot just outside the Northern Kentucky blue line. Cole Gutterman against Hofnagel of the Norsemen. And again, we mentioned yesterday, there's a long shot wide from the face-off that the Northern Kentucky Norsemen, not to be confused with the Northern Kentucky University Norsemen. They are not related. This is not like a farm team for Northern Kentucky University. It's just coincidental that the two teams, two schools, or actually the two teams, because Northern Kentucky, of course, not a school. They are a group of players that are from the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky area, gleaned from high schools that do not have high school hockey programs. And they just came together for an association, much like the Dayton Stealth, another team that the Beavers play. Here's a centering pass. Gutterman, a shot, and a wrist shot is wide. Beavers on a power play for another 42 seconds. Gutterman trying to wrap it around in the corner. Drop pass. Shivelbein back to Gutterman. Cole. He's got Braden Cox. Wrist shot. Pad save. Rebound. Right in front. Oh, loose right through the goal crease. And they couldn't quite tip it in. And the puck escapes to center ice. 15 seconds left in the Beaver power play. Gutterman. Pass picked off and cleared down the ice. Back is Shivelbein for Beavercreek, but the penalty will expire. The Norsemen kill it off. Kathman is back on. Younger for Northern Kentucky. Pass up ahead to Vigso. He tips it in. Beavers come back. Joey Donahue will slide it in behind the Norsemen goal. Back to play it. McMullen. Up ahead, Vigso. Vigso. Pass to center, and it's picked up by Braden Cox of Beavercreek. He'll shoot it right back in. 1-0. The Northern Kentucky Norsemen lead early. Now centering for Elliott, and his tip is off a stick wide. Cole Gutterman for Beavercreek. Gutterman tips it ahead. Owen Bush will slide it in. Back is Younger for Northern Kentucky. Drops it off for Hoffnagel. Hoffnagel, rink wide, pass to center off the stick of Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse fighting for it, coming away with it. Elliott, left wing pass for Kathman. Kathman will dump it in. Back for Beavercreek, Alex Folga. He's checked, but getting the worst of that was Hoffnagel. He runs himself into the boards. And we've got a whistle. And what is the whistle? Offside? Maybe offside. Maybe the Norsemen tipped the puck back in offside. So face off just outside the Beavercreek zone. New line for the Norsemen is out. Scheffel centering. And from the face off, Ogren had it for a moment. He has it poke checked away. Folga for Beavercreek. Folga has it stripped away by Ogren. Trying to center. Elliott after it. He has his pocket picked by Bush. Thomas Bush poke checked away. Gutterman slips it in, but on a delayed offside. The Beavers have to get out of the zone. 9:25 left in the first period. Norsemen leading it 1-0. And this is the championship game based on points. Whoever wins this game will be crowned the champion of this year's Miami Valley Free. Centering pass broken up, and back is Donahue. Donahue will slip it in as the Beavers change lines on the fly. Back Kathman for Northern Kentucky. He drops it into the near corner for McMullen. McMullen, pass ahead for Vigso off his stick. McMullen gets it back. He chops it back to center. He gets it right back again. McMullen for Ogren to Vigso. Pass off a body. Beavers trying to get it out. Puck tied up along the Beavercreek blue line. Vigso chips it free. Weisner is able to get a quick shot away that's wide of the Beavercreek goal. Loose puck picked up by Hanson. Riley Hanson tips it around McMullen. And down the ice after it is Holland of Northern Kentucky. Holland to center ice. Holland will slip it in. After it is Reed of Northern Kentucky. Reed centering but for Bolin, but it's wide of him, and the Beavercreek Beavers come back. Weisner checking Bush down to the ice. Reed for Northern Kentucky trying to break out, but beaten to the puck by Owen Bush. Puck chips up to Braden Cox, and as he clears the puck, it carries the length of the ice for icing on the Beavercreek Beavers. So the bad sign was an early goal inside 1 minute of the game by Northern Kentucky. The good sign for the Beavers is that it's become a very competitive game after that quick goal. We're midway through the first period. It remains just 1-0. Beavers can get on the board to tie things up, and they can turn the tide of momentum. Thomas Bush and Tanner Kathman fighting for it. Now along the boards behind the net. It's Reed. Reed for Kathman. Kathman, rink wide, shot. And Bordas, I believe, got a pad on that one. Beavers trying to get it out, held in by Sunderhouse, the goal scorer earlier. Kicking it free was Holland. Now there's a shot, turned away by Bordas. Williams into the corner, pass for Holland. Intercepted and cleared by the Beavers. After it is Kathman for Northern Kentucky. Tanner Kathman. Passes for Younger, is just past him and off the boards down the ice, and icing on Northern Kentucky. That will relieve the pressure on Bordas as they take the face-off back deep in the Northern Kentucky zone. So the Beavers 2-1 on this tournament. They hold victories over Centerville and Troy, and the loss yesterday to Northern Kentucky. Here is Kathman for Northern Kentucky. Pass at center, off the stick of Max Williams. Sunderhouse picks it up. Sunderhouse drops it off, cross behind the net for Sunderhouse. He can't pick it up. Cross, or check that. Yes, Cross has it. His shot is off a stick and up over the glass, and that will result in a face-off. Maximilian Williams will face off against Riley Hansen of Beavercreek. From the draw, cross to Kathman, left point, but chipping it down the ice was Donahue of Beavercreek. Letting it go for icing is netminder Jackson Maddy. Again, his name spelled M-A-D-D-Y. I believe he's played all 3 games that the Norsemen have played. He started last night in their win over the Dayton Stealth. From the face-off, cross. Pass off a stick to McMullen. Behind the net, Williams. Williams has it taken away, and we've got, I thought we had a whistle, but apparently not. I thought I heard one. And now there's a whistle. And now we're going to have a penalty. I think on Max Williams, as he unstraps his helmet in a disappointed fashion, but maybe not. I thought he unstrapped his helmet. Maybe he didn't. I thought we were going to have a penalty, but maybe the puck was hit with a high stick. Maybe that was the ruling on that. Max Williams is able to tip it in the Beavercreek zone, but the Beavers come back. Owen Huff will shoot it in. Kathman behind his own net, has it almost stripped away by Huff. Sunderhouse up to Williams. Max Williams slides it over for Cross. Cross, shot blocked. Max Williams behind the net, has it taken away by Cox. Now cross pass intercepted by Gutterman. Gutterman ahead for Huff. Huff ridden into the boards. Gutterman picks it up. Passes to Bush. Bush will dump it in. Teams change. Now here is Cross. Ethan Cross will shoot it in, and that'll be icing. And with 4:26 to play in this opening period, it's been a cleanly played period. No penalties so far. Or actually one penalty, I beg your pardon. There was one penalty on Northern Kentucky, and they killed off the power play of the Beavers. From the face-off, puck shot to center. Picked up by Hofnagel. He's checked. Beavers, Nate Shivelbein will wrap it around in the Norsemen zone. Hansen after it. Hansen lost it to McMullen. Over to Hofnagel. Hofnagel ahead. Guzman. J.C. Guzman. The puck is tipped up off a stick off of the clearing shot of a Northern Kentucky player. Therefore, will take the face-off down deep in the Norsemen zone. Cole Gutterman loses the draw this time to Guzman. After Elliott. Elliott racing down. He's got Guzman in front. Centers him. And it's off his skate. Picked up by Bush. Dangerous chance by the Norsemen. Now pass to Gutterman. Here he comes around McMullen. Gutterman. Shot. Save. Rebound. Loose. Gutterman after it. Elliott is able to chip it ahead to center ice and chase it down. Here is Elliott of Northern Kentucky, tied up into the boards by Braden Cox. Braden Cox fighting for it with several players. Hofnagel takes a swipe at Gutterman. Now ridden into the boards hard was Folga by McMullen. Norsemen trying to exert some physicality late in this first period. Scheffel. Pass ahead for Hofnagel. He can't control it. Hebert will slip it in over the blue line, but back comes Northern Kentucky. Hofnagel ridden into the boards hard by Gutterman. Younger will chase it down in his own zone. Younger pass off a stick. McMullen gets it back. He can't get it out. Riley Hansen, a long shot from close to the blue line, is steered aside by Maddie. There's 2:10 to play in the period. Well, if the Beavers could tie this game before the end of the period, that would be fantastic. One thing they don't want to do is give up a late goal. Here's Scheffel. Centering pass intercepted by Joey Donahue of Beavercreek. His clearing shot is stopped, and we've got a whistle. And maybe a puck hit with a high stick. Maybe that's what happened. So they stop play when that occurs. And from the face-off, Braden Cox. Along the far side. Cox, pass ahead for Hebert, off his stick. Here's Kathman. Tanner Kathman, shot down the ice. Icing waved off. It's played by Carson Cox to Braden Cox. Ogren trying to wrestle the puck away from him. Ogren, Cox, Hansen. Hansen comes away with it. Hansen to Donahue. Donahue will slip it in, but that's going to be an icing violation on the Beavers, which will take the face-off inside the Beavercreek zone. Now just 1:09 to play in the period. Big Eric Weisner taking the draw for NKY against Cole Gutterman. Gutterman wins this face-off. Bush has it. Bush carrying out of his own end. across the center red line. Poke checked away. 1 minute left in the period. Gutterman slips it ahead to Bush. Bush flips it high down the ice. After it, Kathman of Northern Kentucky wraps it around. Loose puck picked up by Reed of the Norsemen. He slides it behind the net. After it for Beavercreek. Ridden hard into the boards by Weisner was Folga. Gutterman comes away with it. Pass over to Owen Bush over the NKY line. He'll drop it in behind the net, chase it down. Pass over for Gutterman. Gutterman, wrist shot, blocked on defense. He gets it back. Gutterman looking in front. He's got Donahue. There's a long shot from the point by Cox, and it's gloved by Maddie, and he will hold on for the face-off. 5.3 seconds left in the period. Just enough time for the Beavers to win this face-off and try to get a shot away. Riley Hansen will draw against Devin Hofnagel of Northern Kentucky, but the Norsemen win the face-off, and that will expire the period. So after one at Hobart Arena, and what is a very competitive affair, it's the Norsemen 1 and the Beavers nothing. And we'll just have a quick break as the two teams will go to the benches for some advice from their coaches. We look forward, as we mentioned during yesterday's games, the big game arena next Saturday night against the Alter Knights. That's going to be the rubber match of a 3-game trilogy that saw the Knights win the first game on the Beavers opening night 4-2, and then the Beavers winning over Alter in the Mayor's Cup tournament last weekend 3-2. Now those two arch rivals are going to be having at it next Saturday night at 10 p.m. at the Kettering Ice Arena, and that's much anticipated. I have to say, I'm looking forward to that game. It's going to be a full house and a raucous crowd. And we got shot totals. Beavercreek out shooting Northern Kentucky 7-3 in that first period. So very tightly played, very few good scoring chances for either team. It was big Nathan Sunderhouse scoring at 58 seconds into the first period. And after that, nothing for either team. Now yesterday, the second period was the big problem for the Beavers. They were only outscored 1-0 in the first and third periods. It was 1-1 in that third period yesterday. But the Norsemen dropped an 8 spot on the Beavers in the second period yesterday afternoon. So we'll see if the Beavers keep things tight in this second period. The next goal in this game, in my opinion, is going to be a huge one, because if the Norsemen score next to take a 2-0 lead, that could tip the momentum pretty good in their favor. So if the Beavers can tie it, there's a shot. Bordas down, he slides across the crease to keep the puck out of the net. If the Beavers can tie it, that could be a huge mental boost for the Beavercreek squad. Here's Cross centering, and it's right through the top of the goal crease, but no one could get a stick on it. Icing should be waved off here, and it is. Cross picks it up. Ethan Cross, pass ahead to Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse over the Beaver line. Sunderhouse through the defense, shot, save, rebound, centered, held in at the blue line by Younger. Younger to Sunderhouse. His centering pass is blocked and it tips to center. Hansen trying to beat him to it, but Sunderhouse fends him off. Kathman will drop it in. After it, Alex Folga of Beavercreek. Folga, pass off the boards too far ahead of Cox. Kathman trying to chase it down. He's ridden into the boards. Back is Beavercreek's Nate Shivelbein, and as he shoots the puck down the ice, icing will be called on Beavercreek. It'll be Juan Carlos Guzman. We'll call him JC. Taking the face off is against Gutterman. Gutterman wins it. Folga is checked into the boards. He's covering in front of the net. Oh, hit down hard by Hofnagel was Thomas Bush. Bush gets right back up. He was shaken up yesterday, if you recall, and he is feeling it again, I think. Or no, or did he just drop something off of his equipment? But yesterday afternoon, he got hit hard and went to the bench. But he appears like he's okay. Here's Guzman against Gutterman for the Beavers. From the draw, Cox to Huff. Huff trying to tip it around. Kathman. Kathman picks it up. Trevor Kathman has it shot on goal, and it's covered by Joe Bordis, and he will hold on for the face-off. Guzman will face off against Gutterman. There's a shot from the face-off, high and up over the glass. I don't know if Bordis got a tip of his glove on that or not to deflect it, but it's up over and into the netting. That will be out of play for a face-off. Guzman, Gutterman. Guzman now tossed out as he's out of position in favor of Hofnagel. Hofnagel. Gutterman wins the draw to Cox. Braden Cox wraps it around. Puck comes to center. Gutterman chips it ahead, backhanded. Fighting for it. Gutterman will now sweep it in behind the Northern Kentucky goal. 12:15 to play in a scoreless second period. Norsemen lead it 1-0 in the championship game of the Miami Valley Freeze tournament. The Beavers trying to win a tournament for the second consecutive weekend after capturing the Mayor's Cup 1 week ago. Norsemen control in their own zone. Now the puck taken away by Donahue. Donahue checked. Guzman picks it up. Guzman will drop it in for Elliott. Elliott can't pick it up. Puck shot to center. Scheffel tried to dump it in, but it was off a body. Now the Norsemen will clear in behind the Beavercreek goal. McMullen, a big shot. Turned away by Joe Bordis. Hofnagel holding it in at the blue line. But now it's stripped away by Donahue. The Beavers now will flip it up high to center ice. Shot right back in by Scheffel. Donahue for Beavercreek. Off a stick, fighting for it, Braden Cox and Hofnagel of NKY. Cox wrapping it around for Asa Hebert. Hebert checked into the boards by McMullen. McMullen and Vegso fighting for it. Vegso, quick shot, blocked in front by Braden Cox. Puck comes to the near corner. Beavers were able to ice the puck just to get the pressure off. That looked like that puck was iced intentionally to take the pressure off and also to get a line change. 10:30 to go, second period. Scheffel will face off against Cole Gutterman. From the draw, Scheffel centers, shot, they score! And the goal scored by Vegso. So a 2-0 lead for the Norsemen. That goal coming at 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the second period. Now it's really imperative that the Beavers score the next goal of the game. Thomas Bush. It's chucked into the Northern Kentucky zone by Carson Cox. Shipping ahead to the Northern Kentucky blue line was Gutterman, and now Carson Cox. Right wing pass for Bush. Couldn't quite catch up to it. And it flips up over off a stick over the bench. And that will result in a face-off. So Sunderhouse and Jake Vegso are the two goal scorers for the Norsemen. Puck shot right into Briggs Younger. Younger will shoot it in the Beavercreek zone. Puck tied up along the far boards. Beavers trying to get it out. Hansen against Reed. Puck comes over for Kathman. Kathman will dump it in. Now Kathman gets it right back. Kathman will dump it right back in. After it for Beavercreek, Alex Folga. Folga, he's checked by Weisner. There is Shivelbein trying to tip it ahead of the defense, but he's working 1-on-2 and flipping over almost into the Beavercreek bench was Briggs Younger. He appears to be all right. He almost flipped head over heels right onto the Beavercreek bench. 2-0, the Norsemen lead it. Northern Kentucky again in the white sweaters, red trunks. The Beavercreek Beavers in all black uniforms today. Owen Bush for the Beavers. Checked into the boards by Weisner. Puck cleared. That'll result in an icing as Younger chases it down. Puck played by Jackson Matty. Max Williams for today's home team. The Norsemen will face off against Gutterman. Crosses shot right off the draw is wide. Kathman controls on left wing. Kathman looking behind the net for Hoffnagel. Centering, Bordis down, and he's able to cover the puck. With big Nathan Sunderhouse lurking just outside the crease, looking for a chance to whack at the puck. Max Williams against Cole Gutterman from the face-off. Braden Cox wraps it around the boards. Max Williams centers off the side of the net, but the Beavers are able to clear it, but it's going to roll on end all the way down the rink for icing. If you're looking for some excellent pizza, subs, or taps, make sure to visit Milano's Pizza and Subs on Fairfield Road, one of our fine sponsors for Beavercreek Beavers hockey this season. From the face-off, deep in the Beavercreek zone, Sunderhouse centers, puck loose, and it's shot wide by Williams. Williams ridden to the boards by Folga. Folga fighting for it. Williams trying to pin him to the boards. Folga wrestling right back, cross after it. Gutterman prodding at the puck. He comes away with it. Gutterman. Bush. Bush across center ice. Bush ridden into the boards. He still has it. Bush looking in front for Hebert. Puck loose. Gutterman a backhander. Centering pass, but no one's there. And the Norsemen come back. Sunderhouse chips it ahead for Cross. It's off his stick. Beavers, Thomas Bush. Bush looking to pull the trigger. He now wraps it around, centering, but it's behind Gutterman. Now Folga. Wrist shot is blocked on defense by J.C. Guzman. He tipped it with a hand. And the Norsemen will ice the puck. And with a little bit of offensive momentum, the Beavers will have a face-off deep in the Northern Kentucky end. They need to get on the board to cut the lead in half and turn the tide of momentum in this game as we're a little over halfway through this second period. From the face-off, shot Hansen, pad save, the big blocker by Matty. Strong shot by Cox. Save and a rebound, kicks free. Braden Cox fans on a shot, wrestled down by Hofnagel. Hofnagel will tip it back to the Beavercreek line. Hofnagel bumped off by Shivelbein. Shivelbein checked into the boards by Elliott. Now Kathman for Northern Kentucky. Shot to the line. The Beavers will dump it right back in. Icing waved off as they rule it could have been played. But cleared, not out, held in at least momentarily by Folga. But the Norsemen clear the zone. Donahue will shoot in. Kathman has it. Kathman, Hofnagel on right wing. Hofnagel sweep checked away by Folga. Folga runs Hofnagel into the boards. And the puck cleared down the ice. Icing waved off. McMullen will play it around his own net. McMullen to Hofnagel. It's past him. Folga will dump back in. Hofnagel picks it up for Northern Kentucky. He flips in as the Norsemen chase it down. But Gutterman is able to pick up the loose puck for Thomas Bush on left wing. Bush over the line. Thomas Bush looking to get the shot off. Drops it off. Gutterman, far boards, has it chipped away. Puck picked up by Elliott. Elliott will sweep it in and try to chase it down. Elliott near corner. He's wrapped up. Scheffel after it. Scheffel comes away with a puck. Backhand shot. And it's off a stick. Now a shot by Ogren is wide. And the puck is iced the other way. 4:22 to play, period number 2. The Norsemen lead it 2-0. They've scored 1 goal in each period. Brennan Scheffel for the Norsemen against the Beavers' Riley Hansen. From the draw, it's Carson Cox. Backward pass, but Shivelbein able to pick it up. Shivelbein wraps it far side to Cox, or to Donahue. Donahue tied up. Loose puck. Norsemen have it. Here's Scheffel. Shot wide. Donahue was able to clear, and that will result in an icing. There's been just one penalty in this game, and it was a power play midway through that first period for the Beavers, but killed off by the Norsemen penalty killing squad. Scheffel v. Hansen. Scheffel wins it, and there's a wrist shot. Spinning around was Vexo, but it's wide. Younger holds it in. His shot is a save by Bordas, and with Scheffel trying to swoop in for the rebound, Bordas is able to cover the loose puck. Scheffel against Gutterman. From the face-off, Ogren and Folga fight for it. Now Gutterman ahead to Bush. Thomas Bush crossing the right wing, lost the handle on the puck. Now Gutterman back to Bush. Pass off the boards. Vegso has it. Poke checked away by Gutterman. And Bush will sweep it in. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the period as the puck is cleared down the ice and Bordas will let it go for icing. On for the Beavers. Gutterman along with Bush and Hebert. Braden Cox on defense with Alex Folga. Beavers unable to hold it in from the face-off. And here is Weisner trying to center for Reed. It's covered by Bordas and he'll hold on. Scheffel against Gutterman. Gutterman wins this draw. The puck off the side of the net. Bordas trying to cover the corners along the posts. Beavers trying to get out of there, and here comes Thomas Bush. Bush tangles up. Weisner after it. Kathman comes away with the puck. He'll shoot it in. 2.5 to go in the period. Alex Folga has it poke checked away. Kathman holds it in at the left point. Kathman fighting for it with Bush and Cox, and Braden Cox will shoot it down into the Northern Kentucky zone. Icing waved off as Younger is able to play the puck. Pass to Weisner off his stick. Wrestling Bush almost up over the boards into the penalty box. Hansen comes away with it. Hansen. Pass off the far boards, but icing is called. Jackson Maddie has not had too many shots against him today, and sometimes that can work against a goaltender. There's a shot blocked in front by, shot by Cross. Cross got it back, but fanned on a clearing, a pass behind the net. Braden Cox. Pass along the boards for Shivelbein. Sunderhouse comes away with it. Shot off a stick wide. Younger. Now Hoffnagel. Hoffnagel to Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse checked. Kathman has it. Pass to Sunderhouse is too far ahead of him, and the Beavers were able to flip it back into the Northern Kentucky zone. 1 minute left to play in period number 2, with the Norsemen leading 2-0. Sunderhouse. Pass off a stick back to center, and the Norsemen have to circle back. Cross a shot. Saved by Bordas, and with Cross trying to cut in for a rebound, Bordas will cover the loose puck. Max Williams and Cole Gutterman will face off in the left wing circle deep in the Beavercreek zone. From the face-off, Carson Cox drops it behind him for Thomas Bush. Bush ahead for Huff. Now back to Bush. Pass off a skate. And there's Bush with a backhander, and Matty is able to slide down on the, get his leg pads on it. Here's Folga shot, a tip by Bush just wide. Now a centering pass again. Cox trying to hold the puck in. With 7 seconds left in the period. Huff has it lost to McMullen, and that's going to be the end of the second period. So a scoring chance by the Beavers in the closing seconds, but not quite able to cash in, as a shot by Alex Folga with Thomas Bush in front for a tip, but it was just wide. That could have been a big one. But the period ends with the Norsemen leading the Beavers 2-0. Now there's a discussion with the Northern Kentucky coaches and the referees. I have no idea what that discussion is about. But with the stoppage here at the end of this second period, the ice surface will be redone by the Zamboni machine. Gives us a chance to tell you a little bit about this tournament and the scoring, how these two teams got here. As the official rules for this Miami Valley Freeze tournament, you get 1 point for each period won, a half a point for each period tied, 2 points for a game that's won, 1 point for a game that is tied. So after all the games this weekend, these two teams are the two teams left standing. And right now the Norsemen are ahead 2-0. Shots on goal in the second period favored Northern Kentucky 10-5, and for the game so far, the Norsemen leading the Beavers 13-12 in the shot department. We'd like to discuss some of our sponsors for Beavercreek High School hockey this season. We mentioned Milano's Pizza and Subs. We'd also like to mention Voss Toyota. Voss Toyota is located at 2110 Heller Drive off of US Route 35 along the car lot row right there on Route 35 around between Trebine and Alpha. The car lot strip, Voss Toyota right there. They feature new and used vehicles as well as a full service department. Visit Tom Cotterman, the general manager of Voss Toyota, for your new or used vehicle, or if you need service done. Also, the TJ Awards Company. They are located at 3792 Dayton Xenia Road. They have trophies, plaques, ribbons, and medals. Anything you need for any type of award ceremony, or if someone at your workplace has completed a certain number of years of service and you're going to give them a plaque or any type of certificate or anything like that. Or if you have a team, you sponsor youth sports and you need trophies, or if somebody at your workplace has earned some type of certification, you're going to give them a plaque or something, then that's where you'll want to head. The TJ Awards Company, 3792 Dayton Xenia Road in Beavercreek. Also, the Gallagher Tire and Auto Center with 2 locations, one on Woodman Drive in Kettering and also on Brant Pike in Huber Heights. They will do all sorts of tire work and also full service auto care. Whether you need new tires, tires repaired, or you need transmission work, brake work, a new battery, an oil change, heating or air conditioning, anything you need with your car, full service tire and auto center, Gallagher Tire and Auto Centers at Woodman Drive in Kettering and Brant Pike in Huber Heights. Also, the Dayton's Original Pizza Factory at 1101 Wayne Avenue. They have a wide variety of specialty pizzas and subs, along with steak hoagies, salads, and desserts. So if you're in the East Dayton area, stop by the Dayton's Original Pizza Factory and thank them for being a sponsor of Beavercreek High School hockey. Also, from the business community, JJR Solutions. They are located on East 3rd Street in Dayton. They provide technical and project management solutions all over the United States. They are a veteran-owned small business. JJR Solutions in Dayton. Also, the Perduco Group of Beavercreek. They serve the business community. They solve the toughest business problems by helping businesses make better data-driven and data-informed decisions. They have offices all over the country, and they're headquartered right in Beavercreek. The Perduco Group, that's spelled P-E-R-D-U-C-O, the Perduco Group. Other sponsors for Beavercreek High School hockey this season, the Synergy Building Systems Company, also Prime Electric. Prime Electric, they'll take care of any electrical needs, whether it's industrial, commercial, or residential. In business for 15 years. Visit Prime Electric or call them at 937-689-6515. Also, the Cox Medical Consulting Group, one of our sponsors for Beavercreek hockey this season. And some individual sponsors, folks that have given to help the Beavercreek Beavers maintain and operate their hockey program this season. Matt Belmonte, the Shuttleworth family, Joel Luker, and also Eric and Diane Sondergelt. All sponsors of Beavercreek High School hockey, and also the Heartland Nursing Facility. They are located on North Fairfield Road in Beavercreek, right near, close to the Kemp intersection. That's Heartland Nursing Facility. So again, the Beavers being outshot in the game, but only by a count of 13-12, but being outscored in this game so far 2-0. One goal scored in each period by today's what's considered today's home team, which are the Norsemen. Big Nathan Sunderhouse with a goal in the first period, and Jacob Vegso, and his name spelled V-E-G-S-O, Vegso, and he scored in the second period. Right after his own face-off, he was able to tip the puck in behind Joe Bordas. Bordas has played a good game so far, just the 2 goals by this high-flying Northern Kentucky outfit. And they are 2-time defending Kentucky State champions. And, as we described earlier, they are a conglomeration. The actual team official name really is the Northern Kentucky Hockey Association, I believe is what they're called. But they are a group of high school students, same as another team we face, which are the Dayton Stealth. Group of high school players that are hailing from high schools that do not have hockey programs. So they are able to glean talent from high schools all over the Cincinnati area and also down into Northern Kentucky. And so the Dayton Stealth are the same type of outfit, where there are groups of players from different high schools that don't have hockey programs, and these associations, these teams give these players an opportunity to play where they would not have an opportunity. So they're very good programs to have for these kids that are trying to play hockey but don't have the opportunity at the high school that they are actually at. So the Beavers now get ready to take the ice as the Zamboni has one more round to make to resurface the ice between the second and third periods. And you do that so the ice surface will be smooth. There was a lot of ruts in the ice from the skating after 2 periods, and some loose snow or shavings of ice. And that's why they have to resurface it, because the ice surface will be pretty rough after 2 periods of play. And if they didn't, then late in the third period, you could see some more players losing their edge as they run into ruts in the ice from where players have stopped and started and skidded. So that's why they have to resurface the ice at least once during each game. For the Norsemen, Trevor Kathman opens the gate. He and the Northern Kentucky players are getting ready to take the ice. The Beavers in the locker room across the way. And the referees will come out to reposition the goal nets. And we will get ready for what should be a fun third period to watch, because I'm sure these two teams are going to be tooth and nail the rest of the way, because the Beavers need to score the next goal. If the Norsemen score the next goal, it's going to be tough for the Beavers to come back in this one. But if they can score the next goal and cut the lead in half, that would turn the momentum in their direction, and maybe they can come back against this talented Northern Kentucky squad. We don't know what the conversation was between Northern Kentucky coaching staff and the officials at the end of that second period. And the Norsemen, coached by Jamie Antello. The assistant coaches are Eric Kathman, Andy McGinnis, and Jeff Bove. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, spelled B-O-V-E, either Bove or Bovey. And for the Beavercreek Beavers, Greg Gutterman coaching, and assisted by Brad Lloyd, Nate Lawson, and Drew Earhart. The team managers for the Beavers are Kayla Bennett and Abby Shivelbein. The Norsemen back on the ice. We're awaiting the Beavers. I'm sure they're in strategic planning sessions with Coach Gutterman. An early morning affair on this Sunday. Here come the Beavers, led by goaltender Joe Bordas. Bordas has had a good game so far. And of course, across the way, Jackson Maddie pitching a shutout so far. Yesterday, if you weren't with us earlier, we told you about the game that the Norsemen won over the Beavers 10-1 with an 8-goal salvo to wipe that game out yesterday, although these two teams played a couple of weekends ago in Kettering to a 3-2 Northern Kentucky win, and certainly this game closely reflecting that one. Very tightly played, a lot of good defense, good goaltending, and that's what we saw a couple of weeks ago, and we're seeing that this afternoon. I don't know what happened yesterday during the second period. The Beavers had some mistakes, a couple of penalties, and the Norsemen were able to capitalize big time and score 8 goals in that second frame yesterday. But today's game, close to the vest by both teams. Beavers in their all-black uniforms, the Norsemen in the white sweaters, red trunks. Joe Bordas against Jackson Maddie, the two goaltenders, and we're underway for this third period. My name's Kent Jacobs. We appreciate you joining us. Cole Gutterman a shot right off the opening draw for the third period, gloved by Maddie. We appreciate all the Beaver fans and also the Northern Kentucky fans that might be watching this as well on this Beavercreek Varsity Hockey YouTube channel. On the face-off, Cross wraps it around for Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse. Give and go Williams. Williams to Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse checked by Gutterman. Centers. And Bordas is able to cover the puck on a quick rush led by Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse a goal in the first period, and Jacob Venso the goal in the second period for NKY. From the draw, shot high and wide from the right point by McMullen. Ethan Cross carries back in his own zone. Pass to McMullen off of a couple of sticks to Folga. Dumps in, McMullen plays it. Max Williams controls it with his skate. Pass to Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse in the corner, ridden into the boards by Folga. Sunderhouse trying to dig it free, and he does, but beaten to the puck by Bush. Bush can't get it out. McMullen shot just wide of the Beavercreek goal. We're playing 15-minute periods. Here's Cross. A shot is off a skate. Now a centering pass for Guzman, but it's behind him and the Beavers start back. Cole Gutterman will dump in and head to the bench on a line change. Elliott, pass off of his stick. Kathman and Elliott fight for it at center ice. Elliott comes away with the puck. Elliott will flip it in. Elliott trying to chase it down. A Beaver player heads into the boards. That was Cox. There's a shot, a blocker save, parried down to the ice by Bordas. And you notice the blocker pad is arched a little bit, and that helps in that instance. When you block a shot down, it helps direct the puck straight down to the ice instead of popping it up into the air. There's Kathman for Northern Kentucky. To McMullen, back to Kathman for Elliott. Off his skate. Kathman gets it back. Kathman, pass ahead for Guzman. To Elliott, shot, saved by Bordas as he hits the ice and controls the puck between the two big leg pads. Clock stop with 12:15 to go. From the face-off, Cole Gutterman wraps it around. Volleyed right back to the near corner. Elliott for Northern Kentucky. Elliott, give and go, Kathman. Kathman into the corner. Tied up by Gutterman. Loose puck, Braden Cox. Cox. Pass up ahead, off a stick of Bush. Chopped behind the net, Gutterman after it. He's ridden into the boards. Loose puck flips to center ice. After it, Bush. Bush trying to get around McMullen, but McMullen sweeps it away. Owen Bush after it. Now Hofnagel flips ahead. Touch, give and go, pass to Scheffel. Scheffel over the line. Shuffle, gives it to McMullen. He drops it in to the corner. Now behind his own net, Braden Cox wraps it around, not out. Held in, McMullen one-time shot turned away by Bordas as he slid up against the near post of his goal. Gutterman ties up Ogren in the corner. Beavers trying to clear their zone and take the pressure off Bordas. They do, but it's icing. No icing. I'm sorry. The puck must have been ahead of the center red line when they shot it down the ice. Puck intercepted by Hansen. Quick shot and a blocker save. Rebound, and Shivelbein had his stick not turned quite well enough to be able to get a tip on that rebound. It came to his backhand and he was ready for a forehand shot, so he wasn't quite able to twist around and get a tip on that rebound. That's the best chance so far of the period for the Beavers. We got 10 minutes to go in this one. Norsemen lead it 2-0. Hansen, a wrist shot from a bad angle wide. Shivelbein ridden into the boards. Hansen trying to dig at it. So is Ogren of Northern Kentucky. Several players prodding at it. Coming away with it is McMullen. McMullen will flip it in. Alex Folga for the Beavers. Pass just behind a player. Now is Holland. Holland wrist shot, save, rebound, loose. Puck still loose. Oh my goodness, Bordas was at the near post. There's a shot, save, rebound. They score! Bordas really at the mercy of the Northern Kentucky offense. That goal scored by Holland. That's Brendan Holland. Bordas kind of hung out to dry on that sequence as the Norsemen swarming the Beavercreek net. Bordas making a couple of big stops, but couldn't. The rebound was not able to be cleared away, and Holland was there to poke it in. You could see that coming. So now a very difficult task for the Beavers. Here's Gutterman taking a pass from Bush, but it's off his stick. He gets a shot off, but it's blocked by Kathman, and he shoots it to center ice. 3-0 Norsemen with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the game. So Weisner and Reed, the two assists on that, and there's Sunderhouse with a big backhander that's flipped up high and gloved by Bordas. Bordas will hold on to that puck. So Holland from Weisner and Reed. So now Northern Kentucky has scored one goal in each period. Cross, a screen shot blocked by a body in front. Younger trying to chip it ahead. There's a long shot wide. Max Williams drops it off for Kathman in the left wing circle. Kathman return pass picked off by Donahue. Donahue slides it back into the Northern Kentucky zone. Donahue ridden to the boards by Maximilian Williams. To Sunderhouse. Sunderhouse will start out. Lugging the puck out to center ice to Williams. Williams looking for cross in front. Tip. Oh, he couldn't quite get a tip on it. On the centering pass by Williams. Riley Hansen back the other way. Has it taken away from behind by Sunderhouse. Here's big Nathan Sunderhouse around Folga. Lost the handle. Gets it back. Wraps it around for Cross. Cross beaten to the puck by Carson Cox. Midway through this third period. Puck shot down the ice, and that will result in an icing against the Beavers. With 7 minutes, 10 seconds left in regulation, or left in the game, these teams will not play an overtime should the Beavers be able to come back and tie this game. What would happen is at the end of regulation, the points would be tabulated, and whoever had the most points would be crowned the champion of the tournament. Trevor Kathman flips it into the corner. Cole Gutterman for Beavercreek. for Shivelbein. Nate Shivelbein off the dasher down the ice. After it, Thomas Bush. Bush and McMullen tie up. Loose puck picked up by Gutterman, and he came out of the zone. Cole didn't think he did, but it did just squeak outside of the blue line, so the Beavers had to vacate the zone. J.C. Guzman to Elliott to McMullen in the corner for Hofnagel. Devin Hofnagel. Pass picked off. Beavers shovel to center just over the stick of Gutterman, or he would have tried to break out on right wing. Here's Hofnagel. He'll just shoot it into the far corner of the Beavercreek zone. 6 minutes to play. Northern Kentucky leading 3-0 in this one. Hofnagel bumped by Hansen. Gets it back. Hofnagel. Wrist shot. Actually drops it off for Elliott. Elliott centering for Hofnagel. Shot off a body in front wide. Kathman holds it in. Kathman a shot off a skate. And now picking it up. Here's Shivelbein walking in, backhander. And there's going to be a delayed penalty. It's going to be against the... Let's see if they're... Who's going to head off. We'll see what the call is as Nate Shivelbein was able to steal the puck and walk in on Maddie. He was being checked from behind, and we'll see what the call was here. Was there a penalty? And we're going to have a penalty shot. That's what is going to happen here. So the interference from behind on Shivelbein results in a penalty shot. There comes Nate walking in on Maddie, fakes, backhander, and it's covered by Jackson Maddie. Nate trying to fake to his forehand and move to his backhand and flip it up over Maddie, but he's able to cover the puck. So that's the second game in a row that the Beavers have had a penalty shot but have not been able to cash in. Of course, Maddie, a fairly big presence in that net. I don't know if he wouldn't want to possibly go high on him with maybe a forehand slap shot or wrist shot, but maybe high to his stick side to see if you can tip it in. Here's McMullen, wrist shot, save, Bordas. We're down to just under 5 minutes to play in this one. Well, that penalty shot, a chance for the Beavers to cut into this lead and give themselves a chance, but Shivelbein not quite able to tip it in on that backhand shot. Elliott for Northern Kentucky, lost the puck to Gutterman. Back he comes. He's got Bush on left wing. He drops it to Bush, or right wing rather. Bush bumped off the puck. Picked up by Guzman. J.C. Guzman shot. Loved by Bordas. That's Juan Carlos Guzman. The teams will change lines with this stoppage of play with 4:34 left in this one. Brennan Scheffel against Riley Hansen on the faceoff. From the draw, Cox loses his footing, hits the ice. There's a pass in front, and it's intercepted by Owen Huff checked into the boards, and Huff getting up slowly, but he appears to be okay. There's a shot right on, turned away by Bordas. Donahue to Hansen. Hansen, he's got Huff in front. He's got Donahue in front. trying to center it. He hits the ice. Trying to get a shot off was Donahue, but it's taken away by the Norsemen. And back to play it is Alex Folga of Beavercreek. 3:45 to go. Norsemen trying to center the puck. Bordus down. Puck chipped up high in front. Now the Beavers trying to get it out of their own zone. It's held in by Ogren. Ogren centers. It's deflected off the stick of Cox. Cutting in was Weisner, but the Norsemen unable to get a centering pass. Now there's a shot by Weisner. Stick save by Bordus. Carson Cox for the Beavers. He'll just flip it down the ice. He shoots it just wide of the goal, and Maddie will let it slip beyond the goal line for icing. Cole Gutterman's line back on the ice along with Bush and Donahue. We got Shivelbein and Cox on the points. Long shot off the draw and a save by Bordus, coming out to the top edge of his crease, the corner of his crease, to cut off the angle on that shot. Weisner against Gutterman. Gutterman wins it. Back for Donahue to Bush. Thomas Bush. Tripped up, he goes down. Norsemen cross, or check that, Reed. Tate Reed. Lost it. Gutterman trying to come away with it. Gutterman's got Shivelbein in front, and he has it taken away. Beavers trying to hold it in. Here comes Cole in front to the slot. Backhander is taken away on defense and shot away to center ice. Gutterman lost it to Younger. Younger centers, and it's deflected away on defense by the stick of Cox. He's hit to the ice by Weisner. 2 minutes to play in this one. The Norsemen leading it 3-0. They've scored 1 goal in each period. Thomas Bush ties up with Trevor Kathman, and a player down on the ice, a couple of players down on the ice. Holland of Northern Kentucky and Carson Cox of Beavercreek. Max Williams and Riley Hansen with 2 minutes even to play. From the face-off. Cross knocks it down, has it checked away, shot to center. McMullen will dump it back in offside. Gutterman back to play it. Gutterman wraps it around for Donahue. Donahue tied up, cross centers, a tip chance by Williams, but he can't get a stick on it. Right in front of Bordus. After it, Trevor Kathman. Kathman circling now to cross to center for Max Williams. Give and go Sunderhouse, walking in, side of the net, shot just wide. Sunderhouse was looking for his second goal of the game. Ethan Cross trying to kick it in front with a skate. Williams knocks hard, and the puck is cleared the length of the ice. It's been a very competitive game. The Beavers not quite able to get very many good scoring chances this afternoon. They've gotten some shots on Maddie, but really no really good chances that I can recall in this game where Maddie was really tested. Here is Kathman. Lost it to Bush. Bush will ice the puck once again. Clock stopped with 40 seconds even left in the game. So the Beavers are going to drop a third game of the season to Northern Kentucky. The Norsemen will be 3-0 against the Beavers this season and win this tournament. McMullen a shot, Bordas the save. Bordas has played a fine game in net for the Beavers, but overwhelmed on a couple of occasions. That resulted in Norsemen goals. Alex Folga. And this Northern Kentucky team defending Kentucky state champs. So Beavers knew what they were facing coming into this tournament. Elliott checked into the boards. Beavers come back. Bush has it taken away by McMullen. McMullen hits the ice as he passes over for teammate Devin Hofnagel. And it's cleared down the length of the rink, and icing as the period comes to a close. So the Northern Kentucky Norsemen with a shutout for goaltender Jackson Matty. They defeat the Beavercreek Beavers today 3-0. What was a very entertaining affair. Really, the 2 out of the 3 games that these two teams have played have been very competitive. A 3-2 Norsemen win in Kettering, and then a 3-0 tightly contested game today. The Norsemen out shooting the Beavers for the game 26-16. They score 1 goal in each period. And yesterday, despite the blowout, really the Norsemen, just like in this game, they just outscored the Beavers with 1 goal in the first and third periods yesterday. But that mysterious 8 spot they dropped on Beavercreek yesterday during the second period, that turned that game into a blowout. But 2 out of these 3 games have been very entertaining and tightly contested games. But our congratulations to the squad from Northern Kentucky. They've shown themselves to be a very talented team that played each game against the Beavers. We see why they are tournament champions and why they're 3-0 against the Beavers so far this season. So the Beavers will be second place in this tournament. Last weekend, of course, they were able to sweep and win the Mayor's Cup tournament down at South Metro Arena. Now we'll have the trophy presentations. Here is the second place trophy handed to alternate captains Thomas Bush, Braden Cox, and team captain Cole Gutterman. I had to award the Northern Kentucky defense today. They really squelched any really good scoring chances the Beavers were trying to muster. And now the championship trophy will be awarded to the Norsemen. To team captain Nathan Sunderhouse, a high-scoring forward for the Norsemen. So the Miami Valley Freeze champions for 2019, the Northern Kentucky Norsemen, and Coach Jamie Antello. Beavers coach Cole Gutterman now going to take a picture of his squad, second place. Again, a fine played tournament by the Beavers. They just ran into this Northern Kentucky buzzsaw a couple of times, as did the Dayton Stealth last night. And they will pose for a photograph by some of their probably parents and assistant coaches at this other end. So we appreciate you joining us for this 2019 Miami Freeze tournament for the Beavercreek Beavers. Disappointment today, but congratulations to the Northern Kentucky Norsemen. Beavers next action here on the YouTube Beavercreek Varsity channel will be Saturday night at 10 o'clock against the Alder Knights. And boy, we are looking forward to that. It'll be the rubber game between those two crosstown arch rivals. So we were really looking forward to that game. It should be a full house and a raucous crowd at the Kettering Ice Arena next Saturday night at 10 o'clock. We look forward to you being there or joining us here on the Beavercreek YouTube channel. For engineer Jeff Dufort, this is Kent Jacobs reminding you again the final score in this championship game of the Miami Freeze tournament. The Northern Kentucky Norsemen 3 and the Beavercreek Beavers nothing. Thank you for joining us, and good afternoon from Hobart Arena in Troy.